Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for this Monday, June 16th, 2025. Could I get a roll call, please?
Becker.
Here.
O'Flaherty. Here. Pena Graham. Here. Wright.
Here.
McMahon.
Here.
Chair Maxwell.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you very much. Move to the approval of the agenda. If there are any additions or deletions, if not, I will ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
So moved by Becker. Could I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Wright. Could I have all in favor say aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. We'll move to the approval of the minutes from June 1st, 2025. Again, if there are any additions, deletions, or corrections, if not, I will ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by O'Flaherty. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Wright. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. This is the public participation portion of our show. If there's anyone that has anything that they would like to speak to that is not on the agenda, you may step forward now. If not, we'll move on to new business. We have a public hearing, a petition by Edward Davenport for approval of the variance of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow a 6-foot-high privacy fence to be constructed in a portion of the front yard along North Bridge Road for the property located at 2324 Monticello Drive. Do we have a presentation or a staff report?
Good evening. My name is Ed Davenport. I own the property at 2324 Monticello Drive. I'm here tonight to ask for a variance to allow me to replace my existing fence with the exact same style, height, and in the exact same location. I'd like to take a brief moment to just give you a quick background. I grew up in Detroit. I moved to Illinois in 6th grade and instantly found comfort in green open spaces and lots of trees. I've been an avid outdoorsman and tent camper my whole life. I have one child. He lives in Yorkville with his fiance. I live alone with my 2 amazing Dobermans who would let you break into the house for 1 cookie, and for 2, they'd help drag items out. It was time to find the last home for the 3 of us to age gracefully in. Knowing my need for open space, country-style living, and not wanting to be far away from my son, DeKalb was the obvious choice. All I wanted in this home was a special style backyard for me and my Dobes and a ranch style home to help in this aging process. I looked at so many ranch homes, but not one filled the needs of that special backyard. My realtor said, "Ed, I found a home that I believe meets your yard requirements, but it's not a ranch, it's a 2-story, 4-bedroom home." I didn't want a home that size to have to care for, pay for the heating and cooling just for me and my Dobes, but I agreed to look at it. 1 step into the backyard and we were done. A beautiful yard with big trees, a privacy fence, even a built-in swimming pool. I'm a certified scuba diver, and the front yard, even more beautiful trees. The house itself, I wasn't a fan of, knowing what the future would bring. But the property was everything I wanted and needed, and I purchased the homes. Not being able to keep my yard the way it was when I bought the home creates a few different hardships for me. My dogs are big. My male Dobe is 130 pounds. Many adults and children are afraid of big dogs. I learned this with my first set of Dobermans. And being Dobermans adds another level because of how they are portrayed in the movies. If required to go to the current ordinance of a 4-foot fence, my male Dobe will be able to stand on his hind legs and look you right in the eyes, which will surely startle, if not scare, many adults and children. On top of this, we now increase the possibilities that they might decide to leave the yard and go on a scavenger hunt for the golden cookie. The 6-foot-high fence is part of being respectful to all of my neighbors who enjoy their evening walks with their children. The existing fence offers a second layer of safety for the built-in swimming pool, which can be very tempting to kids on summer break. I still work full-time. The dogs are kept indoors while I'm gone. It's very easy to hop a 4-foot fence for a quick dip. The most innocent acts sometimes have tragic results. Moving the 6-foot fence back to meet the current ordinance negates the whole purchase of the home. Because of the pool installed prior to me buying the house, I would end up with more backyard outside my fence than in. In an effort to soften the look of the 6-foot fence, I've maintained a lot of trees and bushes on the outside, so you just don't see a 6-foot fence. There is probably about 15% of the fence that is not currently covered by bushes, that should I be granted the variance, I would be willing to put more bushes up to soften that look, so we're just not looking at a 6-foot fence. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to speak tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Davenport. We have someone that would like to speak to the matter, and I'm sorry.
I'll go through my report, then we'll have the public.
Oh, okay.
Somebody from the audience. Yeah, and the staff report, Ed went over very well what the request is. To replace an existing 6-foot high fence shown in red here. The fence was constructed in 2007, and at that time, we did allow a corner lot, privacy fences 6-foot high in one of the yards next to a street. Had to be the one that didn't have the access, the driveway access to the street. So that was a permitted fence in 2007. 2 years later, in 2009, the city changed the UDO to not allow the current regulations we have, where you can't have a 6-foot high privacy fence or anything over 3-foot high privacy in any yard abutting a street in front of the house. So the current regulations, Mr. Davenport could put a fence right across here, right in line with the south end of the home. If he met the ordinance with the fence, you can see with the pool, he would have very limited rear yard there. So he just wants to put it up where it's currently at. And explain the reason it is. He's had various repairs. You can see just some new posts were put in. Mr. Davenport bought the property in 2018. And the fence has deteriorated. You see it holding up there. You put a new gate on recently. So it's time to, the best thing to do is replace a fence. So he'd like to do it at the current location. He's noted the reasons with the pool. There's a very limited rear yard. He has 2 dogs. He like the safety there. And also, you can see which is kind of unusual, there's landscaping between the fence and the sidewalk, which he's maintained over the years and has agreed to add some additional plantings, in the more of the open areas, a few. So that's one of the conditions in the recommendation is to do that. So we believe as a staff that he meets the criteria for the hardship. It was a fence that's been up there many years, didn't cause any negative impacts to the neighborhood. Putting it up per the code would really restrict the usable rear yard behind the fence. You can see the house is 34, it's way off the, over 10 feet off the 25-foot setback. So the home is placed way beyond the setback, but that's where you go for the fence. Per our regulations, you go to the edge of the house and across. So there's a hardship there, we believe. We did get a couple public inputs from some neighbors. One, Amy Dahl, 224 Concord Drive. It's right there. Noted support for the request. Also received over the weekend, a copy was provided to you from Mike Cullison of 2318 Monticello. That's the home just directly north of Mr. Davenport right there. He noted support too for the variance. So sample motion is prepared, approves the Exhibit A right there, and also a condition at the end that additional landscaping between the proposed fence and sidewalk along North Bridge Road per the approval of the planning director. I'll work with the applicant in placing landscaping there that will help screen the fence a little bit more, and he's agreed to do that.
Okay, thank you, Dan. So again, we have someone that would like to speak to the matter, and I apologize, is it Harlan? No, Harold. Oh, Harold. Harold Grafe?
Good evening. I'm here simply to support his request for a 6-foot fence. I walk the neighborhood quite frequently. My wife and I sometimes walk the neighborhood. I do more often than she does. I know his Dobermans as a neighbor, and I know that they would put their front paws on the fence and stare you right in the eye, and that would be intimidating to kids. And secondly, so the 6-foot fence is a good barrier for that, and it's a good barrier for his pool too. So, and I find no visibility issues with the fence as a neighbor, so it's not ugly or anything. It needs repair and replacing certainly, but that's the way the fence is, and it does not detract from driving on the corner or anything, so I support it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Graff. If there's no other comments, I'll close the public hearing and just open it up to comments and questions from the commission.
So I think we have two issues. The first one is if it were a new fence, if we were looking at it purely from the perspective of somebody coming to us asking to put a new fence in, we wouldn't be considering your dogs, we wouldn't be considering the pool, we would be considering standards, right? Highest and best use of standards. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're just replacing a fence. It's been there forever. It's been in the neighborhood. Everybody sees it. Everybody walks by. Everybody knows it's there. So why not let them replace the fence as is?
No argument there.
No one sent anything to us saying, don't do it. It's god awful. If anything, it's just going to improve the look, and it will, in your particular instance, protect your dogs, protect people, although it sounds like they're, puppies, essentially. And it also protects any possibility of coming in from the pool. So I think, when you look at it in total, it makes sense to approve it.
One thing too, I would note, I mentioned on these with any new fence, you got to kind of look at it as new fence, kind of clean slate, but the factor is the existing fence has caused an issue since it's been built.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things we look at is a neighboring property, over here is this solid fence here block the front of the house or a drive. No, this house, the access drive is to the court here. So, and they have a 4-foot high open fence here, plenty of yard. So that fence is not blocking the view of this home at all. It's facing Avalon Court here. So that's one thing we do look at.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, there was no impact on the adjacent neighbor. But
Well,
that's one
and
of the
just
things
to
we do look
reiterate, this
at.
was in code at the time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when it was
Yeah,
built,
that's the
it was
other-
allowed.
Yeah.
Is this landscaping proposal different than the other ones? Because we've approved fence variances before, but why are we? Yeah, why are we?
It was just the fact that he did have landscaping here, and the fact that he was, although replacing the fence, had to be considered as almost a new fence.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going quite a bit into the yard, and I asked him if he was going to put some plantings up to help screen. And we're only talking really a few, I think, just in this area is what I was looking at, so. And Mr. Davenport said he was
That's what
planning
you
on it
were planning
anyway
on
and
that?
would agree to it, so.
Okay.
We don't, not looking at screening the whole thing. He's got it nice, spaced out. It kind of buffers it pretty
Sure.
good, so.
Are you
There's
still
a
gonna
few
have-
shrubs, I'm thinking, yeah.
Are you still going to have the holes for the doves to stick their heads through?
I would like to. The people that do like dogs and the kids, they'll look at the dog and they'll look at each other.
That's fine for me.
Yeah.
That's fine. I have no objection to that.
Mm-mm.
But how long does he have to do the landscaping if he does the fence?
We'll work with him. He has to get the fence permit issued, and then, once he completes the fence, that's the best time to put in the landscaping, so.
And that's acceptable for you, Ed?
Yes.
Okay.
Who took the pictures in the backyard? Are those your pictures? On slide 26, did you know you caught a bird in mid-flight? The next slide, right there. Bam!
I did not.
See that bird?
See it.
Fast shutters.
Yeah, I'm missing it
I'm
too.
not seeing it.
Hey, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the center?
Yeah, there's just a dark spot.
Right by the driveway.
nice.
Oh,
No birds were harmed in the making of this report.
Though several were apparently confused. Okay, so if there's no other discussion, I'll close the public hearing and open it up for a vote for approval.
Discussion, okay. I'll make a motion.
Okay,
If
so
anybody
moved.
else want to discuss it? Okay. Based upon the submitted petition, testimony presented, and findings of fact, I move the Planning and Zoning Commission approve a variance to Article 7.06.3, comma, 7.06.4.b, and 7.06.6 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow a new 6-foot-high privacy fence to be constructed in the portion of the front yard along North Bridge Road for the property located at 2324 Monticello Drive, as shown in Exhibit A of the staff report dated June 12, 2025, subject to the addition of landscaping between the proposed fence and sidewalk along North Bridge Road per the approval of the planning director.
So moved. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by O'Flaherty. May I have a roll call, please?
Becker,
Yes.
O'Flaherty. Yes. Pena Graham,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Maxwell.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Good luck. You're quite welcome. We're glad they'll be able to roam free as they should in the backyard.
Thank you for allowing them windows so they can visit.
It's very sweet.
Really do like it.
I'm sure.
Do we have a staff report for next?
Just briefly, next meeting, July 7th, we'll have 3 hearings. One, a text amendment to the UDO regarding on-site cannabis lounges at dispensaries. And then we'll have a hearing regarding Heartland Bank is building a drive-through bank at 330 Grove Street, corner of Grove Street and South 4th Street. That requires a special use permit. And finally, we have a fence variance, not a corner lot, but at 1838 East Lincoln Highway. And, at the last council meeting, they did approve the special use amendment for Little John School. They had
Excellent.
3 more years for the modular classroom.
Okay. Thank you very much for the update. Anybody else have anything to add?
I move that Bill have to wear his glasses when he make a motion.
Thanks, Jerry.
Seconded. All right, if not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
So moved by Wright. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bill. And with that, good night.
Been a bit.
You're welcome.
You didn't even take a vote on these.